Charlie Pryde.
And I'm Jennifer Pryde. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Pride of the Villages.
In this video, Jennifer and I visit Weeki Wachee Springs to visit the Mermaids and also see what other attractions the spring has to offer. Weeki Wachee Springs was once one of Florida's premier roadside attractions. The first Mermaid shows at the Springs was in October of 1947. On that day, the Mermaids performed synchronized ballet moves underwater while breathing through the air hoses hidden in the scenery. Weeki Wachee's heyday began in 1959 when the spring was purchased by the American Broadcast Company, ABC. Movies were filmed at the spring and the attractions were heavily promoted. ABC built the current theater, which seats 400. It is embedded in the side of the spring, 16 feet below the surface. In the 1960s, girls came from as far away as Tokyo to try out for the privilege of becoming a mermaid. The glamorous mermaids performed 8 shows a day to sold-out crowds, and as many as 500,000 people a year came to see them. Weeki Wachee mermaids were treated like royalty wherever they went in Florida. Even today, they are much appreciated, as seen at this Jimmy Buffett concert. In 2008, Weeki Wachee Springs became a state park. Besides the mermaids, the park offers a boat cruise on the river, an informative reptile show, and a water park with swimming, slides, sand beach, and tiki bar. It is located north of Tampa, close to the Gulf Coast, and is about an hour and 10-minute drive from the villages. So we will take you there now, playing some music and showing the highlights. We also have some tips at the end of the video to make your visit more enjoyable. After seeing the mermaids, it was the Wilderness River Cruise.
Releases between 117 and 140 million gallons of water every single day. That's enough water to fill up an Olympic-sized swimming pool in less than 10 seconds. Birds of prey that we have in the area, including the bald eagle. The American bald eagle, the female, has about an 8-foot wingspan. She's about 25% larger than the male. And that park is got a great white egret standing in the water over to our right. Ooh, there they go. wild animals here as part of their attraction. So the monkeys were here, and they filmed a Tarzan movie here, and The Incredible Mr. Limpet, where they turned Don Knotts into a fish. Also, one other movie, the Jaws movie, the opening scene of that first Jaws movie, they've got a woman struggling in the water, and she ends up being the first shark victim. And she was actually a Weeki Wachee mermaid. Lives up to its name. It's got sharp serrated edges. If you ever grab onto it or walk through it, you'll know it. But it's great to have along the shoreline because it provides stability. Into the air and get to go down their throat head first. And what she's doing right now is drying her wings. They don't have the same amount of oil in their. When you look into their mouth, it's kind of creepy. They've got big teeth. And the reason they've got those is they eat mollusks and shellfish, and so they need to be able to chomp down on crabs and oysters and shrimp and snails. Your day at Weeki Wachee. Oh wow.
Next was the very entertaining ranger experience where gentlemen talked about the local reptiles.
They might start to dig their burrows out there, and people get a little concerned. They think it might collapse. Well, I wouldn't be too worried about that. The gopher tortoise is a master architect. Their entire life revolves around digging. In fact, these burrows can range from around 40 feet long and 10 feet deep. Hope you have a plan ready. Because an adult alligator can run 5 to 10 miles an hour, swim 10 to 15 miles an hour, has been seen climbing chain link fences and trees, and jumping 6 feet high. If we were to ask the magic 8 ball on that one, it would tell its outlook not so good. Who here's heard the zigzag method? To run in the serpentine and escape the alligators, raise your hands. Well, if you have, I would forget about that. Because it is a myth. If we notice where the alligator's eyes are, it's on the sides of his head. So by running in a zigzag, you're just putting yourself in a better field of view. And he is one big muscle. He can turn whichever way he wants very quickly. Don't worry though, there's a very easy way to escape an alligator. You just have to do one simple thing. Bring a friend that is slower than you. It has worked out every time for me so far. It is why I'm doing the show alone today. Because you don't always have to be the fastest one. Just be faster than the person you tripped.
Tranquility Trail is a nice loop walk through the nature area. And don't be surprised as you walk in the grounds of the park that you don't come across these guys. Peacocks are free ranging here. So after you've been walking around the park and you're getting a little hot, a good way to cool off is to head on over to Buccaneer Bay. So that was our video highlighting the park. Now, most of our tips for visiting can also be found on the park's website. The website has the history and nature of the park, as well as it highlights the current mermaids. Our first tip would be to try and go during a school day, as it will be less crowded. Lots of families were there on this hot summer day, with the water park being the main attraction. We were there at the park as it opened, and you can see the line to get in. The price of admission is $13 for ages 13 and up, and $8 for ages 6 to 12. We were given a map and a show schedule upon entry. During busy days, we would recommend getting to the Mermaid Theater and the river cruise boats a half hour before showtime or boat departure. If you are proficient with a smartphone, then there is also a scan code that will provide you information on the park. Now, you are allowed to bring your own food in a cooler into the park, or you can purchase food and drink at several concession areas. They do perform weddings and other functions at the park, with the beautiful springs as a backdrop. Kayaking and paddleboarding is available on the river, with a concessionaire located off the parking lot. One important note is that lightning can shut down the park attractions, as so much of the activities are based in the water. There are also no personal flotation devices allowed in Buccaneer Bay, and although the park sells mermaid tails, they are not permitted to be worn in the park. So Jen will only be allowed to wear her mermaid tail at the village's pools. So hopefully you too get a chance to visit Weeki Wachee Springs. Some great Florida attraction history there, as well as one-of-the-kind mermaids. So until the next video, have a great day, and we'll see you then.